All right, people. My name is Tara Welcome, and I'm doing my YouTube-only Throne of Tides review. So this actually just dropped a couple of hours ago before I was planning on doing this. We've got the new arena changes, and the new arena changes is basically we've got the last year of expansions in here, plus Voyage to the Sunken City, and then plus Descent of Dragons and Boomsday Project. So, relatively speaking, alright, so I'm just going to talk about this very first. Relatively speaking, you look at all these. Boomsday Project was kind of like, I'm not going to say it was, okay, Boomsday Project was like middle to strong power level wise, but these are all absolutely absurdly broken power level wise compared to everything else. So, just going over Arena. Arena is going to be like Arena. You have this current mix of things like TGT and things like that kind of like bring down the level, and you got those kind of like the older bad sets mixed in with the strong sets. Yeah, pretty much everything here is going to be an absurdly strong set. So I'm going to incorporate this when I do my reviews a little bit. I'll be taking a look at some of the cards here. So, Throne of Tides, all the cards are out. I'm just going to run through these quickly. I've not really put any thought process into this beforehand like I usually do for my written reviews, but I've taken a look at the cards and I pretty much have, like, I've gone through them just so basically I know what the card says and what it's doing. So, if you guys have not seen here I've got my score list here. So this is basically how I rate the cards. It's kind of based on the Hearth Arena rating system here. 7 stars. If a card 7 stars, it's a card so powerful it should be banned. Like, it just breaks the game. 6 star, this card really too powerful for Arena, but incredibly strong. 5 star is a card that's class defining, like a really, really powerful card. 4 star, cards that can swing the game. 3 stars, above average for the mana cost. 2 stars, an average card. You have to take these. 1, bad cards that have a situational upside. And 0 stars, never pick these cards. Alright, so I've got this listed over here. I can only do this by sorting by new, so I'm going to start with the neutrals. Alright. Neutral here. Ozomat. It's colossal, 8 mana, 6/5. For each of Ozomat, Death Rattle, for each of Ozomat's tentacles, destroy a random enemy minion. So, the tentacles, what are they? They are 1/3s. So, Ozomat, you play 8 mana, you get a 6/5, and you get a board full of 1/3s. So, it's an instant board. And, well, there's actually kind of 2 ways to deal with this, which is the weird thing. Like, if you have initiative, then, how would I say this? You can't kill Ozomat. You need to kill the tentacles. Because, like, and you might only be able to kill a few tentacles. And there's very few classes that have, like, 3 mana in terms of an AoE. So, on a moderately sized board, like, this is an actual board clear. Or it's a delayed board clear, but it's a board clear. On a board where you have initiative, you can just, like, your opponent can't play anything because you trade off the Ozomat and it kills stuff. So, this is, I think a lot of people are kind of like, they're comparing it to Colossals rather than just like a regular, really strong minion. So, like, is it over in this level? No. But if we take a look over here, like, is it better than a lot of these cards? I would say so. I would say it's probably, going by my list, it's like a high, you can see here, it's probably like a high 3, low 4 star card. So, Ozomat. Alright, let's make sure this, okay. Alright, so Ozomat, I'll go borderline 4 stars here. Just because, number 1, it's a lot of stats for the cost. Number 2, because it kind of forces your opponent to do things that they may not want to do. Alright. Next one here. Neptulon, the Tidehunter. 10 mana, 7/7 Rush Wind Fury. Whenever Neptulon attacks, if you control any hands, they attack instead. Alright. So, I'm going to say this. Raid Boss Onyxia is better. But there have been times with Raid Boss Onyxia where, I'll describe. There have been times, oh, by the way, the hands here, they have immune while attacking. So basically, you get a 10 mana, deal 8/8 twice, and you get to, and you don't take anything from that. Deal 10 mana, deal 8 damage twice, then summon the 7/7 and 2/4/2s. All right, just get out of the way. It's a 7-star card. Not even okay. Neptulon 7 stars. I'm just gonna write that down here. So the question is: it better than Raid Boss and Nixia? No, but there have been times with Raid Boss and Nixia where I've been able to kill the Whelps, but I've not been able to kill the Raid Boss and Nixia, and it was just like an 8/8, and I could kind of manage it. 7/7 with Wind Fury, if you leave this up, that is really dangerous. Like, you might be able to kill the little 4/2s here, but the 7/7 Wind Fury, like, I can see situations where this is better than Raid Boss and Nixia. I don't know if it's like 100% better than Raid Boss and Nixia, but it's like really, really, really close. All right. Next card here. Coil Fan Constrictor, 4 mana, 4/5 beast. Battlecry. Look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand and choose one. It can't be played next turn. So it's 4 mana, 4/5, which is good stats for the cost. Then you get to see the opponent's hand, which is good, and you get to prevent the opponent from playing something on the next turn. So, like if this is going into turn 5, like what's a really powerful thing on turn 5? Oh, you know what? It might just be a Knight Captain. Here, let's go. Neutral cards. Let's see, 5 mana. So it might be like a Nyxian Warder that could destroy things. It might be a Faceless Corruptor that's coming back. It might be Gangplank Diver. Could be like where is it? I have to show sparse data here because some of these cards just don't show up. It might be, I want to say Knight Captain. Knight Captain should be here because it's in the sets. Yeah, might be a Knight Captain. Oh, by the way, I have this set on Wild and Not Arena, so that's why the deck win rate is so low and why it shows up so little, because I have kind of like the set sorted out here. All right? So you can prevent something like that from coming down. Now, more importantly, late game. If this is like turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, maybe your opponent is holding a card. They're holding a really powerful card that they want to play. You can figure out what that card is, and you can prevent them from playing that. That might be game winning. So, going from this, basically, the idea that cards that can swing the game, I honestly think this is a low 4-star card. I think that the potential power level of this, like if you take a look compared to like other neutrals that are like around the 70s range, is it a Scalebane, Impatient Shopkeeper, Pandaren Importer, something like Piggyback Imp, as Sharan Sentinel? Like I take this over and as Sharan Sentinel. Like Warder's going to be a lot more powerful with the Sin of Dragons. I'd probably take this over a Bloodguard. Might take this over like Bog Creeper. You see the kind of level of cards. I think it is better than these cards. I do think it's like around a 75 overall. So yeah, about 4 stars. Snapdragon. Battlecry. Give all Battlecry minions in your deck +1/+1. Alright. So is this good? So here's the problem. If you play this on 3, you're immediately going to be under tempo. So, and you give, it's in your deck, not your hand. So let me actually do this. Let me open a second one here for Arena. So if I go Arena and I go Mechanic, Battlecry. All right. So let's see. Like, what are the top Battlecry minions? You got like one. Like, how many cards do you have Battlecries that show up like more than 10% of the time? That's a lot. All right. Let me see here. All right, so I'll say 20% of the time. What cards? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like about 10 that show up 20% of the time. If I get rid of Battlecry here, how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so like among your top 16 cards, 10 are Battlecry cards. So, that's among neutrals. Spells, obviously, they don't count for your class spells and weapons, but you're talking probably 50% of your deck, give or take, is going to be something that has a battle cry on it for Arena. So it's a 3-mana. Whoopsie, clicked on the wrong thing. It's a 3-mana 3/3 battle cry. Give half the minion. Like, let's look at it like this. Battle Cry, give half the minions that are in your deck +1/+1. So you really need to draw 2, or I would say 3 relevant cards to make up for this. So because like you're paying for a stat, so you're missing like 1 stat immediately, and it's an on curve. So really, it's a lot more than that. So I would say you would need to make up 4. Like you need to make up the 2 stats initially, and then you need to make up 2 stats later, I think, to balance this out. So that means you need to have 4 cards get. You need to have at least 2 cards get buffed, I would say. And I think 3 is really where it begins to get good. And then from like simple napkin math there, we can say, so that's taking 6 turns, 8 turns. So you play this, and it's not going to be until like turn, on average, because remember, you have to draw this. And you're probably not going to draw in the mid-game. Probably turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, when the value begins to pay off. And I kind of don't see that. Like you have the Paladin, you have the 1 Paladin spell. It's the 4 mana spell. I forget the name of it. It's the one that okay, is it in? I forget if the forget the Paladin 4 mana spell is in there. It's the one that buffs like everything. Okay, I know it's in standard. 1 second here. I'm blanking on the name. Cards. All right, cards. Give me a sec. This is why usually I prepare these things ahead of time. All right, so what have we got? We've got standard, Paladin, 4 mana. So it's okay. Invigorating sermon, because I've seen this one. So it's kind of like an invigorating sermon effect, where it takes so like the reason this card was only average was even with the hand and deck, it takes so long for the effect to go off. So overall, Snapdragon, is this better than a Yeti? I don't think so. I think it's a little worse than a Yeti. Is it better than a regular 2-drop? Yes. So let's say, okay, let's split the difference here. Let's say it's a, let's see, what's Hearth Arena have as a Yeti? I forget what's their thing for Yeti. Yeti is right around here. I'm going to say it's a high 2-star card. So yeah, figuring this out, it's a high 2-star card. Because I just think it takes too long for this to go off. So let me put that on there, make sure that it is okay, showing up. Okay. Next card here. Bubbler. After this minion takes exactly 1 damage, you destroy it, pop. Alright. So against certain classes, like against Demon Hunter and Rogue, this is basically alright, so bare minimum, this is a 2/1. Now, a lot of classes have ways to deal 1 damage. Demon Hunter and Rogue both have efficient ways to deal 1 damage, 1 mana, deal 1 damage. Mage and Druid have their hero powers, and so their hero power basically treats this as a 2/1, but still they are spending 2 mana to clear a 1 mana minion, so they're kind of like getting ahead. And then you have things like Paladin, which kind of has a delayed hero power, which can handle this because they just put a 1/1 on the board. If you can't deal with it, then it just removes it. So overall, there's ways to do that. Some of the most powerful, some of the best cards are in the set, like Ram Commander, like the Tide guy. I forget his name here. Reef Walker. Like they deal 1 damage pretty easily. So there are ways, like you have Treasure Guard, which is a really good card that has 1 attack. So there are ways like the Tar Creeper. Tar Creeper is in the set. Tar Creeper is a really powerful card. So there's ways to deal with it. But there aren't really efficient ways to deal with it. So I think the best turn for this card, I have thought about this one a little bit. The best turn for this card is if you play it going second on turn 1. Because here's the deal. If you play it, like even against a Demon Hunter, I'm going to use the absolute worst case. You have a Demon Hunter. If you play this first, Demon Hunter is just going to hero power it down. If you play this second, then the Demon Hunter is going to go into turn 2. And it'll have 2 choices. It can spend 1 mana to hero power this down, or it can play a card. So, if it didn't play a card already on turn 1, it's not going to have 1 mana to play a card on turn 2, which means they're going to kind of float a mana to deal with this. So you can see, like, even against a card, even against a class like a Demon Hunter, this might be an actually decent card. Now, is it a great card? No. It's gonna ultimately be a 2-star card. I think it's better. I would take this over a 1/3 because it's really strong on curve, and in the mid to late game, it's like only okay. Like, it becomes a 2/1, but the strength on curve, I think it's definitely not as good as a 2/2. But I do think it's a decent card, and I think it's like a high 2-star. I'd take a Yeti over this, but that's the standard. All right, so Bubbler 2 stars. Okay. All right, those are all the neutral cards. Now to go over the class cards here. So we start here. Demon Hunter here. Herald of Chaos, 3 mana 3/4, lifesteal, battlecry. If you've summoned a fell spell while holding this, gain rush. Sorry, if you cast a fell spell while holding this, gain rush. Alright, that's why I pulled this up. So let's go over Demon Hunter. No neutral cards, class cards. Spell School. No, get rid of this. Spell School, Fell. There are 3 fell spells in Arena. All of them are 5 mana. So, you are not, and by the way, remember, this is, okay, just so you guys know, I have the new sets here. Voyage to Sunken City, Fraction Alterac Valley, United in Stormwind, Forged in the Barrens, Boomsday Project. Like, this is, I don't even get why this isn't standard. This is literally standard cards, and there's 3 standard spells that you would never run with this. Like, I'm actually confused why this card was printed at this point in time in standard. Okay, point being, you are never going to cast a fell spell while holding this. Like, maybe. But it is so rare, it's not going to happen. So, the question, how good is a 3/4 lifesteal? How much better is it than a regular 3/4? It's okay. Like, is it above a 70? I don't think so. Like, if we say a 3/4 is down here, then maybe it's mid to high range here. Like, is it better than a Gorilla Bot? Kinda. Like, yes and no. Maybe a little bit for Demon Hunter. So, yeah, 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. Herald of Chaos. Okay, make sure that shows up. All right, next card here. What do we got here? We've got Fossil Fanatic. After a hero attacks, draw a fell spell. Where is it? No. No. Maybe. It's a 1-star card. Maybe in a future set they print like a bunch of insane Demon Hunter fell spells. Right now, it's complete garbage. Alright. Topple the Idol. Dredge, reveal it, and deal damage equal to its cost to all minions. Alright. So we have a direct card here. Chaos Nova. 5 mana, deal 4 damage to all minions. That's always going to happen. So, the question is this better or worse than Chaos Nova? So, you get 3 tries. Okay, let's pull out some math here. Let's say 50% of the cards you have are going to be under 3 mana. Let's say, how many 4-drops you're going to have? You're going to have like 5, 6. All right, I'm just going to pull out some random numbers here. Let's say you have 15. Is that too much? I'm running math in my head. What would you want? Okay, I'm just going to pull up math here. Let's say you have 15 cards that are under 4 mana. You have 5 cards that are 4 mana, and you have 10 cards that are 4 mana or more. Now, it's probably going to be different from that because you've already drawn cards and you're going to already draw some of like your low cards, like just from mulliganing. So like you'll keep the low cost cards, so it'll be a little bit better than that. But let's pull out some math. So I've got a calculator out. You guys can't see it because I've got OBS up, and OBS isn't going to recognize my calculator. But so basically, the chance to draw it's going to be, let's say, all right. So 10 times 9 times 8 divided by 30 divided by 29 divided by 28. All right. All right, I'm trying to figure out the math here. So I think you have a really, really good chance to get a card that is going to be, well, it should be 20. Because okay, sorry, I did this wrong. It should be 20. All right. So if you've got 10 cards that are more than whatever, if you've got 10 cards that are higher than 4, you've got basically a 71% chance to draw a card that is going to be better than a Chaos Nova. So if you have, and then you've got a Chaos Nova, which is at 5 mana. Let's say you have 5 4-drops in there. So 1 second here. And you've got, I think, if I did this right, you've got basically a 45. I think that did the math wrong here. All right, here's the point being. With the Discover option, with the Dredge option, you have got a pretty high chance, actually, to draw better than what a Chaos Nova would be. Plus, you get the Dredge. So overall, I think that is a positive. So would I take, so because of that, would I take this over a Chaos Nova, which is here? Yes. Would I, okay, so would I take this over like a great card here? No. All right. So if I go back up here, probably a high 3-star, low 4-star card. All right. Yeah. So top of the idol. So on that range of 3-star, 4-star. That's what I would say there. And that is it for Demon Hunter. So pretty average overall for Demon Hunter. All right, let's go down here. Next one here, we've got Druid. Druid, Spirit of the Tides. If you have any unspent mana at the end of your turn, gain +1/+2. So, worst case scenario, it's either a 2-mana 2/2 you play because you absolutely have to, or it's a 3-mana 3/4 where you play it like that. So that's the baseline. It cannot get any worse than that. So that's going to be like above a Yeti. So, and then if it lives, then it continues to grow. So if it lives, the problem is that you're spending them. Here's the problem. If you're wasting of the mana, if you're wasting like 1 mana on this, then you're spending 1 mana to gain +1/+2. And is that really all that useful? And then sometimes, like, are you willing to spend 2 mana for this to gain +1/+2 at the end of your turn? I don't think that's all that useful. So, like, Yeti line. Better than a Yeti? Yes. Is this like a great card? No. So, it's going to be a 3-star card. So, that just basically going through my thought process where it goes here. Spirit of the Tides. 3-star. All right, making sure that shows up. Okay. Let's see here. Next one we've got is Moonbeam. Deal 1 damage to an enemy twice. So, basically, Arcane Shot, except number 1 benefits from spell power. Number 2, it deals with Divine Shield things. So something like Piggyback Imp, I don't think this deals with. I think that it will die before the second Moonbeam will go off. So don't use it on that. But there are things like Righteous Defender or Click Clocker, where you have a 1-mana 1/1 Divine Shield, where this does actually efficiently remove that. So overall, like, what's Arcane Shot listed at? So like, I'm just gonna use Arcane. Oops, misspelled it. Arcane Shot, that's about 2-star card. A little bit better than that, so I would just say high 2-star card. Yep. So 1 second here. Where's this? All right, making sure that shows up. All right, and then next one here, we've got Herald of Nature. Herald of Nature, battlecry. If you've cast a nature spell while holding this, give your other minions +1/+2. So again, let's go back over here. Get rid of this. Fell. Let's see, what nature spells are you going to have as Druid? Okay, you know what? I just realized I did something stupid. I just realized I did something stupid. For some reason, I had the 5-mana thing there, so I had that listed there. So there are Demon Hunter Fell spells. Okay, so I'm an idiot on Demon Hunter. You're witnessing this in live. All right, so the other cards. All right, I'm still going to say this. I don't think a lot of these cards, the Fell spells, you're going to have these, going back to Demon Hunter cards, I don't think this really changes that. So I think like a lot of the Fell spells, these are like okay spells, but I'm not sure how many of these you're actually going to have in your, number one, in your deck, number two, that you're going to cast. So, like, I'm an idiot because I had it listed on 5 mana, and I had the Fell spells wrong, but I don't think it actually changes, like, the calculus on this. I do think here, Fossil Fanatic, I do think that this becomes, like, a high 2-star card, so I'm going to change that here. Oops, no, wrong one. Number lock, 2-star. So I do think that gets a lot better. And Herald of Chaos, I don't think I don't think you're going to be playing these cards early enough to activate it. So ultimately these do get better, but it's like a lot of these cards are not like great cards. All right. So my apologies for screwing up that because I forgot that I was looking for 5-mana minions for the thing there. All right. Anyways, Druid. Going over here to Druid, and I want to check nature spells. So nature spells, you have 25 nature spells. And a lot of these spells are pretty decent, like Sow the Soil, Thorn Grove Centuries. Earthen Scales is okay. Like, okay, Composting is decent here. Breath of Dreams, you're going to have dragons, like you're going to do this. Embiggen, you're probably going to draft this. Landscaping is decent. Market of Spike Shell is pretty good. While, let's see here. Miracle Grove, Flipper Friends, that counts as a nature spell. I was not aware of that. See here. Reinforcements. Okay, so you see you've got a decent number of nature spells here for this. So like even if you take a look, like 25 to 12. So you're going to have nature spells, and you're probably going to get this. So a 3-mana 3/3, you don't play this on 3. You play this after you've cast a nature spell. Give all your minions plus give all your minions +1/+2. So is that a good card? I would say so. I think this is actually a very like, is this Power of the Wild? Is this Power of the Wild? Is my question here. So go to Druid. I think it's about Power of the Wild. So maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, but okay, so that's going to be like a high 3-star card there. All right. Okay, so Herald of Nature, 3 stars. 1 second here. Okay. All right, let me get that on there. All right. Okay, so that is Druid. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to Hunter. Looking at Hunter. Okay, 3-mana 3/3. If you've cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 5 damage. Alright, you're not going to cast 3 spells while holding this, so it's a 3 mana 3/3. That's mediocre. That's like very low 2-star. I'd say even 1-star. Like compared to other 3 drops, that's a 1-star card. Okay. K9atron. Battlecry. Dredge. If it's a 1-cost minion, summon it. Okay. I don't know how many 1-cost minions you're going to have if I pull up... Oh, sorry. Is this arena data? This, okay, that's standard data. This is arena data. So, let's go Hunter. Let's go 1. Let's go Minion. So, these are the ones currently in standard here. A lot of these are pretty mediocre, I would say. Like, I'm not sure. You're going to have like maybe 2 or 3. So, and also, do you necessarily, so it's like a 2/3 that maybe summons a 1-drop. If we go over here, we go to, okay, one sec. Let me get rid of the nature spell school here. Let's go Hunter 1 mana. Am I missing something here? Like Dwarven Sharpshooter. Okay, not class cards. Okay, let's see which ones of these are really strong here. Because, okay, Dwarven Sharpshooter, maybe. Okay, a lot. I'm not seeing Blazing Battle Mage, maybe. Alright, so I'm not seeing like a lot of great 1-mana cards that you would want to play as a hunter. So, what is this card then? It's basically the I forget. It's the 2-mana neutral dredge card. Where is it? Not treasure card. Tuskar Trawler. It's basically Tuskar Trawler with a beast tag with a mild upside. So that's 3 stars. K9atron is 3 stars. K9atron, 3 stars. Shell Shot. Deal 3 damage to random enemy minion. Repeat this with 1 less damage. So, it's random. So, it's potentially 3 mana, deal 6 damage to a single minion. If it's on the board, then you deal 3, then 2, then 1. So, if there's 6 health on the board, unless it's like some like weird situation where you've got something where it's like 4 health, then 2 health. And it does like 3 to the 2 health thing, then 2 and 1 to the 4 health thing. So there are weird things like that. So overall, I think this is strong. I think this is strong. I think it's a good removal on single target. I think it's a fine removal on multiple things. The first thought I had here was going to the Warlock like full-blown evil, but that doesn't have like the scaling of it, so it's definitely not that good. Is it better than 3 stars? Yes, so I would say probably 4-star level card here. Just because it is a really, really good removal that can function as a single target removal, or it can function as a so it can function as a single target removal, or it can function as a somewhat maybe a little bit inconsistent of a multi-removal here. That's it for Hunter. Yep, okay. All right, going to the next one here, I have Mage. Let's take a look at the Mage cards. Death Rattle. Add 2 arcane spells to your hand. At the end of your turn, discard them. All right, so I'm going to go under this assumption. If this dies on your... I might actually need to check this out, because my assumption is this. At the end of your turn. It doesn't say at the end of each turn. It says at the end of your turn, discard them. So, if your opponent kills this, then... So, okay, I'm going to think here. If your opponent kills this, then I think you have next turn to cast your 2 arcane spells. So I'm gonna I am actually going to take and look this up here. I'm going to see if it says anything for that. All right, so I don't know. Okay, it doesn't say. Okay, I can't figure it out here. That's what my assumption is. So if your opponent can kill this and you don't get the spells, then this is bad. It's not bad, but I don't think it's a great card. If your opponent can kill this and you still get the spells until your turn, then I think that is a lot better. So if we go Mage, get rid of 1 mana, and we go down here, spell schools, Arcane. So what are some arcane spells that you can get here? Like Arcane Intellect, like Rune Door is pretty good. Siphon Mana is pretty good. Arcane Breath, especially if you have dragons, that's really good. Okay, Shooting Star. Right? Shooting Star is listed twice because I think it's in Core plus in Boomsday. So I think that's the reason it's listed twice. Like Astral Rift, if that's like a free Astral Rift, that's not bad. Counter spells, okay. So Mass Polymorph could be really good. So Arcane Overflow if you get this. So there's a lot of potential here. I think it's going to be basically, how to describe it? Like that you're kind of forced into this. I'm not sure if that's the greatest thing in the world, but I do definitely think this is like a strong card. Like if I compare this, like what's a 2 mana, what's the card for Huckster? Huckster here. It's a 2 mana, 2/2, Death Rattle, get something. So, and potentially get 2 of something, and potentially get something you're forced to play it. So overall, I think that's pretty similar. I think it's about a 3-star card. All right. Again, a lot of this is just me kind of like working out in real time what this is. So Mage. Submerged Space Rock, 3-star. Lady Najar, while in your hand, this transforms after you cast a Fire, Frost, or Arcane spell. So, okay, let's take a look here. If it's a Fire... Okay, so if I got it right here, if you cast an Arcane spell, it becomes 5/5, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1, which is okay. If you cast a Fire spell, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion and 2 damage to adjacent minions. That is absolutely insane. If it's a Frost spell, gain 8 armor. So I'm assuming the transformation works like just by looking at her arms. I'm going under the assumption. I do not know 100%, but I believe if you cast a Fire spell, then it will always be this one. So if that is the case, then this is absolutely insane because you do get a lot of Fire spells as Mage. Like here, I did Arcane here. And Fire spells, these are like you got First Flame, you got Fireball, you got Ignite. Drake Fire Amulet, I guess. Flame Strike, Explosive Runes. A Rolling Fireball is back. Volcanomancy is like a decent spell. You get a lot of halfway decent to good fire spells. So if you can manipulate this to get the fire one for Arena, having an explosive shot with a 5/5 body on a stick is absolutely insane. All right, the other two, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. I don't think that's okay, but I'm not going to say it's great. Gain 8 armor is really not that great. So I think the inconsistency makes it a 4-star card, but this would be a 6-star or 7-star card if you can get enough fire spells with it. Like the fact that you actually do need the spell is kind of like a little bit of a problem. But I think if you can't consistently manipulate it here, it would be 6 stars or 7 stars. That you can't, I would say 4 stars. So 1 sec, right down here. Lady Nazjar, 4-star. All right, next one here. Polymorph Jellyfish. Transform a minion into a 4/1 jellyfish with spell damage +2. 1 second here. So, polymorph board. Let's just establish this. The absolute worst case scenario for this is it's basically a polymorph for 5 mana. It's a 5 mana polymorph where you ping it off. So, if that's the worst case for that, then this is going to be an incredibly powerful card, because there are a lot of cards that are really, really strong that you need to be able to polymorph away. You could potentially cast this on one of your minions and then give it the spell damage, and then if you have like an AoE like a shooting star, this could be real powerful. So there are things you can do there, but it's basically it's a 5 mana polymorph or a 5 mana. It's kind of like a 5 mana hex, because you have to use your hero power as well, or you have to use like a token that's already on the board. Hex is still a really, really, really strong card. Like we can see, Hex here is still a 5-star card. I think the extra mana, I think the versatility of this actually keeps it around a 5-star card, just because there are a lot of things that you want to be able to hex. So Polymorph Jellyfish, I would say 5 stars. Okay, that's it for Mage. Let's keep on going here. Paladin. Look in the Paladin card. Okay. Frontline. Summon a minion from each player's deck. Repeat until either side of the battlefield is full. Not a good card. So, what I'm thinking here is, if your opponent has... Okay, so here is the potential... So here's the problem. Repeat until either side of the battlefield is full. So it's not repeat until each side is full, it's repeat until either side of the battlefield is full. So what comes from here? If your opponent has 3 minions on the board and you have 0 minions on the board, you play this, you get 4 minions and they get 4 minions. And they still have the board and you still haven't been able to clear their 3 minions. That's bad. So you play this when you have the edge. And again, it's the same thing. Like, what you're getting here is you're getting a equal effect for 9 mana when you want to be just winning the game. So I think this is 0-star card. Like, I cannot see a situation in Arena, or really even in Constructed, where you would ever want to take this card, because it costs too much for the effect. Like, unless you got like some like death, like unless it's like a Cthulhu deck or a Mechathune deck, where you want to just like empty your deck as soon as possible, and you've got like a bunch of death rattle minions in your deck that will just blow up. All right. Light Ray Taunt costs 1 for each Paladin spell you've played this game. You need to play 4 spells for this to be a 5/5 taunt. Are you going to play 4 spells? Like, maybe there are some echo spells or something along those lines. Let me get rid of fire. Let's just go to Paladin. Okay, so the thing I'm thinking of is potentially something like echo. Like, I'm trying to think, is there anything coming in that would make this useful? I don't see. Like, I know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be something like where you play like Holy Map Key rule, and then you keep on doing that, and you get this down to 0. So like 9, and you somehow get this down to 0. Or it's supposed to be something like in Wild with the Librams, where you play the Libram every turn and it discounts. It takes way too long. It takes way too long. The payoff is not worth it. Like, even if it had Divine Shield, it would be good. But just 5/5 taunt, I think this is also it's playable. It's playable, so it's a 1-star card, but it's never going to be good. Myrmidon. After you cast a spell on this minion, draw a card. Alright. buff Paladin, I guess. Like, we've seen this effect before. I can't really think of it. But we actually have this effect. There is a Paladin 3-drop, right? So if we go Arena, class cards, I want to go to 3. I want to say, okay. Yeah, so yeah, you know, Stormwind Avenger, right? After you cast a spell on this minion, it gains +2 attack. Stormwind Avenger, it's a bad card, right? So a 3-mana 1/5, it's like you would cast any spell. You'd cast like any buff spell and it would become really good, right? But it doesn't work. So 3/4, draw a card. Like, again, it has the same problem. You need the spells and you need to cast it on this thing that you want to do. So again, there is the potential combo within Constructed with something like Holy Mackie Roll. Like I do see the combo. Restore 2 health. You play this and you Holy Mackie Roll and you fill up your hand. So like, I do see the combos. I do kind of see what they're going for here, but I don't think that maybe in Wild I could see this working. Maybe there's like certain cards that work for this. There's like Echo cards that can work for this, but I don't think it's going to work really for Arena. I don't think it's a set that really works with what there is. So I think it's a 3-star card. It's a 3/4. Myrmid on 3 stars. All right, and that's it for Paladin. Yep, it's supposed to work with Holy Mackie Roll, and that's not an Arena card. Priest. Herald of Light. If you've cast a holy spell while holding this, restore 6 health to all friendly characters. So 3/4 with an upside. Again, let's go here. Let's go to Priest. I'm going to take off spell type. I'm just going to go to Spell Schools Holy. You get a 14 holy spells as Priest. Are you going to cast it? Okay, let's see. Are you going to draft it? Is the question. Shard of the Naru, are you going to cast it to get that? Illuminate, are you going to really draft that? That's not really a card you want to draft. Holy Smite, okay. Epic. Holy Nova, okay. You're not going to draft that. Condemn, epic. Bless, rare. You really shouldn't draft it. Deliverance. Power Infusion. Okay. So you see kind of the problem here, right? When you look at all the holy spells that are actually in Arena, I don't think it's really consistent enough to rely on it. So maybe you can get like a random generation, because things like Scorpid is back. Pandaren Importer is still in. I think Volpera Scoundrel is still in. So you do have ways to generate, and you do have ways to activate this. So there's things you can do there, but I think it really does not rise above a 3-star card. It's better than a 3/4, but I don't think the effect is consistent enough to be better than a 3-star card. All right. Next one here, Disarming Element. Battle Cry, dredge for your opponent, set its cost to 6. All right. So this is one of the cards I actually did think about a little bit, and this is a unique card. That's the best way to describe it. So if we're talking in terms of card value, like games that go down to value, then this is basically the same thing as draw a card. So you dredge a card for your opponent and set its cost to 6. So most likely you'll get a 2-mana or a 3-mana card for your opponent that costs 6. And what that means is that your opponent is not going to play it. So this is the reason why Adwicta thinks that Ysera sucks and Action Jackson is one of the best cards in the game. This is the reason Adwicta thinks this. Because the idea is that you cannot play Ysera if it's in your hand and it's a bad option. If it's unplayable, it's completely worthless to you. But Action Jackson, the amazing 2/3 that draws a card if you trade a card, like that absolutely amazing card that wins you so many games. So you can play that. So it's an option and improves your options. And here, Disarming Elemental, again, Ysera, it's like Ysera, it's like that horrible card where it's in your hand and it does nothing, so you have fewer options. All right, so thinking about this realistically, a 4/4 that gets you kind of like card advantage. We already have something similar to that in Hench Clan Burglar for Rogue. 4/4 discover a spell from another class. So 4/4 draw a card versus 4/4 remove a card from your opponent. And remove an option from your opponent. They're kind of similar. The problem is that, and like if you can't tell the sarcasm, like this is why the Ysera example falls apart. You have other options. So you reduce your option level, but if you have other options, then this really doesn't do anything. And on the other hand, like drawing a card gives you more options, so it like actually improves your chances if you're behind. So, okay, I'm trying to talk myself into this because I'm not sure. I don't think this is a 4-star card. I think that the fact that you're reducing your opponent's options doesn't really matter all that much as long as they have other options available to use. And I don't think it has a way to like, it doesn't have the situational usefulness that something like a Hench Clan Burglar has. It's a 3-star card, so it's definitely not 5. I don't think it's 4. I think it's a 3-star card. I think it is useful. I think like because again, your opponent is not going to play that 6-mana 3-drop or 6-mana 4-mana card. So I think, yeah, 3 stars. Trying to work this out in my mind. Okay, next one here we've got Drown. Put an enemy minion on the bottom of your deck. This is basically Entomb. Or, okay, this is basically Hex. This is basically Polymorph. This is basically Entomb. You play this for the exact same effect. You pay 4 mana, and you completely get rid of something. And you transform, like, it's not just a transform, it's gone. So, again, best comparison is Hex, but a better Hex because you don't put the taunt down. Hex is a 5-star card, and it leaves a frog. That frog can be annoying, and the fact you don't get the frog, that easily pushes this to a 6-star card. So, absolutely insane card. This is like one of the best cards of the set. I don't think I really need to explain more. Okay, let's keep on going here. Rogue. Inkveil Ambusher. Stealth has +3 attack and immune while attacking. So this has already been preemptively banned in Arena, and the reason why is that it's a 4/2 while attacking with immune. So you play this on turn 2, you're going to kill whatever your opponent plays on turn 2, and if they don't have initiative, you'll kill whatever they have on turn 3 and turn 4, and so on. So this card coming out on turn 2, especially in Arena where you do not have the answers, would be absolutely insane. That would be a 6-star card, no question. It would just completely win games for you. Okay, but again, it's banned from Arena, so don't worry about that. Jackpot. Add 2 random spells from other classes that cost 5 or more to your hand. So, okay, if we take a look, okay, let's get rid of this. 5, 6, 7. And a spell. No weapon. Spell. Okay. 5, 6, 7. Let's take a look. What are you going to get? So, okay, you get Scale of Onyxia. You can get Miracle Grove. You get okay, so you get Siphon Soul. You get Drake Fire, Light Bomb, Abyssal Wave. Okay. Rune of the Archmage. Okay, so we're discounting the rogue things here. Oh, you can get Flipper Friends. You can get Blizzard. Nah, that's a rogue one. Priest, Polymorph. That's a rogue. Power Fortitude. Okay, okay, I'm looking through these things here. So you get 2 5-mana spells. So a lot of these so I'm going to say this is not exactly as good as it seems. Because there are a lot of 5-mana plus spells that are really not all that great. So, like, okay, so, like, the chance here. Like, let's say, like, I'm looking through here. Well, which one would you want? Okay, like, if you're looking for a great spell. Like, great, 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 no, no, great. So it's kind of like, it's like 50-50 to get a great spell. And it's like 25% to get an okay spell and 25% to get a bad spell. So overall, I'm not sure exactly. I don't think this card is that good. I think it's 2 mana. It's like, is it better than Arcane Intellect? If we're looking at the swing upside potentially, like I'll say 3 stars on this, but I'm looking at the consistency of this, and I don't think it's going to be consistent enough. And I do think there's going to be plenty of cases where you play jackpot and you get 2 really bad spells, or like one of the 5-mana spells is something that you never really get a chance to use. So I think 3 stars. I'm not sold on this. Shatter Shambler. Your next Death Rattle minion costs 1 less, but immediately dies when played. There's like Mechathune decks, I guess, where this can work. I don't see, like, I don't know, like there's a few things there. I think most arena decks, like the Death Rattle is like a 1 or 2 mana bonus. I don't know if something that's like a 1 mana, like a 1 mana card where you play it and you get like 5 mana's worth of Death Rattle. Like maybe like a Faceless Shambler or Faceless Summoner, the 4 mana 1/1 that summons a 5/5. Like, okay, it would work with that. And remember, it's a battle cry, so you'll never be able to play another Death Rattle minion. I honestly almost want to say 0 stars. I'm going 0 stars on this. Here's why I'm going 0 stars on this. The fact that you play this means that it lasts the entire game. If you have a single Death Rattle minion in your deck, and you draw that Death Rattle minion, then it's completely worthless. So that's basically where I am. Like, the fact that it's a 1 mana 1/3 and have such a massively negative effect, like, no, like, this is a card I would never pick, just because if you do draw that card, you're screwed, and the benefit of getting a 1 mana 1/3 is not worth that. All right, keep on going. Shaman. Command of Neptulon. Summon 2 5/4 elementals with Rush. Overload 1. This is Faceless Corruptor. This is an unnerfed Faceless Corruptor, which was, let me get back here. One second, let me remove the spell tag. Which, if you guys forget, sorry, not Faceless Corruptor here. So it's an unnerfed Faceless Corruptor. Battlecry, transform one of your minions into a copy of this. So this was better in Shaman because you would just play it on the totem. But now instead of playing it on totem, you just play it by itself. So obviously, like, that's actually, let me see here. I forget, did Faceless Corruptor get unnerfed? I vaguely remember it being, okay, some cards got unnerfed, so I'm taking a look at it. So obviously this is a 6-star card. I don't think it rises up to 7, but just getting 2 5/4 elementals with Rush, like with the Overload, this is just like an absolutely insane card. I don't think anyone disagrees with this. And Neptulon, 6 stars. All right. Clownfish. 3 mana, 3/2, Battlecry. Your next 2 Murlocs cost 2 less. Alright, I'm going to go over to current arena here. Okay, if we go to Shaman, let's get our 3 stars. We don't need that. Tribe Murloc. Or sorry, Priest. Okay. So, let's see. What Murlocs are you going to take? Slime Scale Diver, Razorjaw, Typhon. I'm not sure if that's going to be in here. Twin Fin, Fin Twin, Piranha Poacher. Those are going to be in. Let's see. Let's see. What does Shaman have here? Are there any Murlocs coming in from Wild? Fin Twin, Forager, I guess. Okay, so this might actually be decent, because if we take a look at the Murlocs here, like a lot of these Murlocs that are coming in are actually pretty decent. Like Forager is good, Chieftain is good, Lushwater Scout is good. Let me see here. Lushwater Mercenary is going to be good. Slimescale Diver is always good. Razorjaw is still in. Skyfin, like especially with Descent of Dragons, Skyfin is going to be a really good card. So there is potential here. So that's why I'm not going to say this is bad, because there are Murlocs, and there are Murlocs that are actually fairly strong. So I do think it rises to a 2-star card. It doesn't rise to a 3-star card, but I do think it's actually good enough, like with how many Murlocs are in, where it's a 2-star card. Because I do see a world where you coin this out on 2 and then play Skyfin on 3 and just have like an insane board, plus you get another discount down the line. So I do think that's fun. I do think that has potential. Oh, you have here. Oh, Tideloss Burrower. Battlecry, Dredge. If it's a Murloc, summon a 2/2 copy of it. So for 4, Dredge is good. Murlocs, okay, so it's potential. What's the card? Way back when. Reporting for duty, ready, sir. It was like the 5 mana 4/4 that summoned the 8/2/2. So it's potentially that on 4 plus Dredge, which is good. Now, are you going to draft Murlocs? Are you going to get enough Murlocs for this to reliably go off? No. But 4 mana 4/4 Dredge, I think that's fine. If we compare this to, we go to neutrals here. Excavation Specialist, I think it's right around that same range. So 3/6 versus 4/4, 3/6 is better, but the upside of that is also better. So, but then the problem is like you're drawing the Murlocs, I'm not sure. So overall, I'm going to say it's a 3-star card. I think it's on the level of Excavation Specialist. All right. Let's keep on going. We have got Warlock. Battlecry. Your opponent's cards cost health instead of mana next turn. All right. So there's been a lot of talk about this. So I am not entirely certain about this card. Here's my problem. If you play this on turn 5, then your opponent just basically gets to dump their hand. And then you're going to be on like whatever, like they can play like just giant things and they can stop you. So I think that is a bad case. I think on turn 10, this gets good because your opponent is going to want to play their big stuff. And if they're taking 10 damage to play their big stuff, that's a massive price. If you're ahead with this card, then this is obviously, it's kind of like a Lotheb effect. Like I've heard people talk about it as Lotheb, where it basically blocks your opponent from doing anything for one turn. If your opponent, so like if your opponent, I think that's where the strength is. If you have a, what do I describe? Like if your opponent is at 15 health, which is not that hard to get. If you play this, then your opponent literally cannot do anything, because if they do anything, they'll die. And that's like, even if they like try to remove this, they'll spend like 5 mana. So yeah, that's I'm trying to get the words in my head to process. So like, even if your opponent removes this, they're gonna have to spend that health to remove that, and then they can't develop further. Like even in the late game at like 20 health, like if you can save for one turn, oh, you cannot play anything, or you can only play your whatchamacallit. The wheels in my brain are processing. I need to kind of like sort this out. All right. So your opponent says you cannot do as much as you want to normally do. Like let's say you only play 5 mana's worth of stuff to remove this. And then you still got other stuff on the board because you're going to be playing this with something else. So, okay, so thinking about this, it's a bad 5-drop. Do not think of this as a 5-drop. It is a bad card if you are behind or if you've not dealt damage to your opponent's face. But if you're a Warlock, there is the inevitability with the hero power of drawing this. So if you get this, you can try to manipulate a deck where you go face as much as you can to mess with your opponent. And in that case here, Commander Ulthok, that is a really good card. So in this case, I think it does not do anything. So is it on the 5-star level? It does not do enough by itself. I think it rises to the 4-star level. Yeah, I think 4 stars here. Think of this as like a turn 10 play. Think of this as a turn 10 play, or a play when you want to freeze out your opponent, or you want to set them to a dangerously low place. And again, you're Warlock, so you are going to have damage from hand. All right. Herald of Shadows. If you've cast a shadow spell while holding this, steal 2 health from a minion. So you need to cast a shadow spell for this to be worth it. So then it becomes a 3 mana 4/4 deal 2 damage, basically. Which is kind of like, it's a better Baba Naga. So, okay, let's go over here. Warlock Shadow. And again, we look at the Warlock Shadow spells. Like, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's fine. And that's good. That's good. Good. What's a Found Gas Pure? What's that do? That's fine. That's like that's kind of like Mortal Coil. I haven't seen that one in a while. All right. Point being, there's a lot of good to decent shadow spells in there as a Warlock. If we take a look at current arena. I'm gonna remove the Murloc. Try Murloc tag. So we look at current arena. You're gonna draft about 1.5 2 shadow spells. You've got Discover Things. So I'm going to say Baba Naga. It's basically Baba Naga. It's Baba Naga with like a more conditional effect with a better effect that's probably not going to go off on curve. So if we compare this to Baba Naga, why is Baba Naga rated so high? Okay, I think Hearthrend is wrong because Baba Naga is good. I don't think Baba Naga is not that good. I've played with Baba Naga. Baba Naga is not like this level. Baba Naga is this level. So I do think Hearth Arena is off on this. I think Baba Naga is a 4, so it's like it's a low 4-star or high 3-star card. Like even if I go here, I'm just gonna reset filters. I'm gonna go Arena. So I'm pretty sure. Last 14 days. Let's just see, what is Baba Naga? 56.5. Which would put it around here, which is kind of like a low 4-star, high 3-star card. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think Hearth Arena, the score, I'm not sure if they've updated it. Have they updated it? Did I just forget to update it beforehand? All right. Okay. Anyways, so where I am with Baba Naga is, I don't. Okay. This is the update. They have not updated it, I want to say, since the expansion released. They've done updates, but Baba Naga has not changed, which is kind of like surprising. But no, there is no way Baba Naga is this. Oh, sorry. There's no way Baba Naga is this good. I think it's a 3-star. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's a 3 to 4-star card. So it's around that range. Immolate. Light every card in the opponent's hand on fire in 3 turns. Any cards still in hand are destroyed. You pay 4 mana to maybe gain a card or 2. That's bad. 0 stars. Like, it takes too long. Like, maybe if it was 1 turn, I could see it being good. 2 turns, I could see it being possible. 3 turns, I think it takes way too long for that to happen, and I understand why for Constructed. You do this in Constructed, and you basically screw over combo decks. So I get the reason for Constructed, why it's 3 turns. In Arena, it's not an Arena card, 0 stars. And then finally here, we've got Warrior. Clash the Colossals. Add a random Colossal minion to both your players' hands. Yours cost 2 less. Okay. Problem here is this. Like, I'm thinking about this. The problem here is going to be this. You give your opponent a Colossal. You get a Colossal. Your Colossal goes out first. So, the problem with Colossals is you do not want to play your Colossal first. It's kind of like, it's like the Raid Boss and Nixia problem. Oh, by the way, it just kind of clicked on me. Hey, Descent of Dragons. Discovering Dragons. Raid Boss and Nixia is a dragon. We're going to be seeing so many Raid Boss and Nixias. Yay. All right. Clash the Colossals. So, anyway, it's the Raid Boss and Nixia problem where you do not want to play your Raid Boss and Nixia before they play their Raid Boss and Nixia. Whoever plays it first loses, because then the counter Raid Boss and Nixia is too strong. It's the same thing here with Clash the Colossals. Whoever plays their Colossal first loses, because then the other person comes back with their Colossal that has initiative, and the second Colossal kills off the first Colossal and then has the board initiative. So, and then, like, the fact that you get the discount means maybe, like, the best thing you do is you play this on turn 3. Then maybe turn 4 or turn 5 or turn 6, you're able to get your Colossal minion out, and they have theirs stuck in their hand. So this is not Fires of Zanarsh. Not Fires of what? I've been retiring Warrior decks, every single Warrior deck I've seen, every single time, because I want to get the Fires of Zin-Azshari. And I've not been able to get a deck with the Fires of Zin-Azshari yet, and I'm still upset about that. Because I want to get a deck with this just so I can play with this, but I've not been able to. And every single Warrior deck I've I've picked Warrior literally every single time I've seen it come up, and then unless it was like an insane Warrior deck, I would retire it. And I've probably gone through like 10 decks. I still have not been able to get the fires yet. All right. Anyways, back here, I'm gonna say 1 star. Like if your deck is bad, maybe. Like if your deck is bad, maybe, but I don't see this working. Tidal Revenant, 8 mana, 5/8, deal 5 damage, gain 8 armor. So I think everyone pegs this better pit croc. So it's obviously a 6-star card. Like I don't think that much needs to be said. Okay, because it's back on the menu. Twin Tyrant. Would you pick this over a Twin Tyrant? So a 5/8 body is better than a 4/10 body, I would say. So is deal 5 damage and gain 8 armor better than deal 4 damage twice? Probably not. So again, if we're comparing this directly to Twin Tyrant, the 8 armor is like it with the right micro adjustments. In the right deck, the 8 armor could be really powerful. In the sense that, like if we compare this, is it better than a Kraken? It's 100% better than a Kraken. Kraken's all the way down here. It's like an 83. So, Twin Tyrant is like in the 100s. That's a 6-star range. I do think it's around that level. I don't know. Okay, that's just my idle musings. So Tidal Revenant, it's definitely a 6-star card. And then finally, Igneous Lava Gorger. Taunt, 3/5 taunt, Battlecry Dredge, gain armor equal to its cost. Alright, so there was a Demon Hunter card that was similar to this that was that was removed from its core set, like Illidari Inquisitor or something. I don't know. It's not Illidari Inquisitor. I'm not going to look it up. It was a 3/5 life. It was 3/5 taunt with lifesteal. So this is basically the same thing, except you get the bonus dredge effect and you get to manipulate that. So is this? It's good. Yes. Is it a 3-star card? Yes. Is it a 4-star card? I don't think Warrior really has the late game. Okay, let me put it this way. I think in Priest, like if you were playing Priest, a class that has a lot of removal, these 2 cards would be much better just for getting to that late game. The problem with Warrior is Warrior just gets outvalued in the late game. Like, I don't think a Warrior is going to win the late game unless they do some like massive adjustments. So if that's the case, then the health doesn't really matter because the later the game goes, the worse it gets for you, and the tempo is a lot stronger. So, okay, I think the card has 4-star potential in other classes, but in Warrior, it kind of like just they don't get there. So I'm gonna say it's a high 3-star card. All right, and that is it. Those are all the class cards. Those are all the cards for the Throne of Tides set. So overall, I don't think there's that many like insane cards. Like if we take a look, the only 6-star cards, like the only like really powerful 6-star cards, we got Tidal Revenant for Warrior. We got Command of Neptulon for Shaman. We've got Ink Veil Ambusher for Rogue, which is not even going to be in Arena. We got Drown for Priest. And Neptulon as like a neutral card. So really not that many insane cards. Like even for 5-star cards. Like if you lower it to 5-star, you get the Polymorph Jellyfish for Mage. And that's really it. So yeah, I don't think, not the strongest set. compared to like a lot of other sets. Like, we're not getting a Sneeds, we're not getting, like, Neptulon is kind of like on the Sneeds or Raid Boss and Nixia levels, but we're kind of at the problem where, like, Raid Boss and Nixia and Sneeds, their problem was that they were so easily discovered. And Neptulon as an elemental, it's not that hard, it's not that easy to discover it, so we're not going to be at the level where it's just going to completely ruin Arena. Plus, because of Raid Boss and Nixia and Sneeds, the effect of Neptulon is kind of like reduced. Alright, if you watched this entire video, I want to thank you for watching, and then I will see you guys in the arena. Bye.